Houston, we have a problem. Rails displays this page when an error is raised, and it's actually pretty useful. It tells you what error occurred and the controller and action it occurred in, as well as the error message here, undefined method stringify keys, and it also has a stack trace. This is called a stack trace. Now you might kind of avoid the stack trace because it looks scary, especially if you go into full trace here. I mean, it can get really long, but it's a very useful tool for debugging what actually happened. And so I'll walk you through debugging this problem using the stack trace. But first, let me show you exactly what a stack trace is. Let's open IRB. And it happens when an error is raised. So let's raise an error here. And right now the stack trace is extremely short, just one entry. But we can put it inside a method. And then when we call this method, the method will be mentioned inside of the stack trace. Let's try putting foo inside of another method. So a new method bar calling foo. Now if we call bar, you can see that the error occurred inside of the foo method, which was called by bar, which was called by this IRB prompt. So that will show you exactly where it occurred in Ruby. Okay, so let's see how to solve this problem. The first couple entries sometimes are not very helpful because they tell you specifically where it occurred inside of the Rails framework. But the error is not likely inside of the Rails framework, which is, you can tell by how long this stack trace message is. You can tell that it's inside of the active record part of the framework here. And it's actually, taking a look at it, you can see that it's way down deep inside of the Rails framework. So that's the first few entries here. And if you look a little further down, you start to see something that looks more familiar. In this case, you can see that the error first occurs inside of our app controller's tasks controller file on line 7. It calls the new method, which is inside of the show action here. So if we actually go to the tasks controller, we can see our show method, and it's occurring inside of new. Oh, I see the problem. It's because I did task new instead of task find. I meant to do find here. So now, let's try going back here. Reloading, and it works. So that was the problem. Now let me show you one other thing that's specific to TextMate. You noticed that these are links, and this is handled by a TextMate plugin called TextMate Footnotes. And if you install this plugin in your Rails application, TextMate will provide links in the stack trace, which are extremely helpful because just one click and you go to exactly that location in the stack trace, either inside the Rails framework or in your application specifically. And you can get to that by installing the install bundle command, and this is inside of the Rails bundle. Install bundle plugin. And by doing that, you can choose, let me get that up here. You can choose TextMate Footnotes, hit OK, and it will install it for you. So that's just something pretty useful when it comes to debugging in TextMate. If you have any comments about this episode, hop on over to RailsCasts.com and you can add comments there. Also, if you have any suggestions, email me at feedback@railscasts.com. Thanks for watching.